It's a frosty evening in Detroit, but inside the Mathias Center in Detroit, Michigan, Macomb looks to stay hot, but it will be a tall task with the Skippers rolling into town. It's the Macomb Monarchs taking on St. Clair County Skippers in this MCCAA East women's basketball matchup. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Merrifield, joined alongside Tom Cavanaugh this evening here at the Mathias Center. And Tommy, the tall task wasn't a figure of speech. This St. Clair squad comes in and they lean on their size in the paint.
Absolutely they do. You look at Kyriana Carter at 6'2", Emma Janes at 6'4". I mean, there's some big girls out there for this Skipper team, and it's going to be up to Macomb to be able to control the glass as they did last Saturday it was, against the Mott Bears. But when you look at Macomb, it's Asi Jihad at 6 foot. Everybody else is 5'7" or under. So for head coach Kurt Caroline and these Monarchs to win their 8th game in their last 9 contests, they got to get on the glass against the big Skipper squad.
Yeah, this is a St. Clair County team, 52 rebounds a game. That is first in the conference among everybody. So that is going to be a tough task for Macomb, but they seem to win games here as of late, even without rebounding be there, so will not really matter that much. Only time will tell. Macomb coming in 13-5 on the season, 2-1 in conference play, rattling off back-to-back wins. They had a nice 80-69 win over Mott on Saturday afternoon here at home. It was a big lead, 70-44 through the third quarter. Mott's kind of snuck back in it, but still a good first home win of the year in conference play.
Big win. Yeah, Nadia Walsh of the Bears. I mean, she caught fire with 13 points in the fourth quarter, and it was, only, I think, 6 to 8 points were scored by the Monarchs in that fourth. And they've done that a couple of times this year where they get out to big leads, and then they kind of wane late. But Janiyah McWilliams, career high, 22 points. Alea Forrest, 21 points in back-to-back games this year. And you also had Asi Jihad doing her thing, was a couple rebounds away from a double-double with 13 points. So all was good for that Monarch squad. They had 12 triples, something that they struggled with last year. A much better shooting team this year. They're going to have to do a lot of the same to upset this Skipper squad.
Yeah, 40% from beyond the arc on Saturday, shooting just 26% on the year, so that's a mark they want to continue to improve. And as of late, on this little winning stretch that the Monarchs have had, they've been shooting the basketball well, so we'll see if that continues against a very strong St. Clair County Skipper squad coming in 12-6, and they're 3-0 in conference play to start, tied for first place. Mike Brew in his 3rd season at the helm, and this is a St. Clair County team that comes in, and every year they are really well coached, and they are always competitive in this Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah, dating back to 2022, I mean, they've won 20-plus games every single year. The last time these two teams played, actually, was back in the Great Lakes District Championship semifinal. It was SC4 that came out with a big win. They took them down 72-57. 4 straight wins for the Skippers. They've been hot. They played a really tough schedule this year. They're better than 12-6. Macomb's going to have to rise to the occasion, Matt.
And SC4 has dominated this series history as of late. The Skippers took all 3 matchups last year, and they won them handily. All 3 games, they were decided by an average of 18 points. Wow. So we'll see if Macomb can stay with the Skippers here this evening in this conference matchup early in January, as St. Clair County coming in off a win in overtime at Jackson, 79-73 on Saturday. We'll see who comes with the victory here on this Wednesday on the campus of Wayne State University. We're going to take a quick break for the anthems and starting lineups. When we come back, we'll have tip-off and all the action between Macomb and St. Clair County here from Wayne State. Welcome back inside the Mathias Center in Detroit, Michigan, as we are almost set for the Macomb Community College Monarchs taking in St. Clair County, the Skippers, and MCCAA conference matchup on this Wednesday evening. Matt Merrifield joined alongside Todd Cavanaugh. Let's get a look at those starters on the starting five for both sides. We're going to take a look at St. Clair County first, coming in at 12-6, and they got their starting five coming in. As we mentioned, a couple injuries, but still, I think it's a big piece here. Kyriana Carter coming in as that big 6'2" center down low.
And Kyriana Carter, also the defending NJCAA Division II Player of the Week. That's an incredible feat. But looking at that Skipper team up and down, it's the 5'7" guard Mayana Cooksey, the 5'4" guard Silver Bowles, the 5'6" guard Taylor Wallace, the 6'2" center Kyriana Carter, formerly mentioned, and the 5'4" guard Adrian Collins. Before we get to Macomb real quick, Matt, Ileana Williams and Serena Ajami combined for just over 30 points per game between this team. Both of them average 15 apiece, and both of them are grabbing over 11 rebounds a game. They are both out tonight. Great opportunity for Macomb.
Yeah, we talked about that size of St. Clair County. It's a kind of a big plus for Macomb when you look at Williams and Ajami being out, because Williams stands at 5'10", Ajami at 6 foot flat, and then also you add in Carter at 6'2", so not quite as big of a squad for St. Clair County, but still they grab 50 boards a game. It's going to be a tough task down low for Macomb County. Now on the Monarch side of things, they're rolling out a very familiar starting lineup, and obviously it's Janiah McWilliams who's been leading the way a lot, along with Mackenzie Harris.
Mackenzie Harris, the freshman guard, she has been a huge surprise this year, a pleasant one. The redshirt sophomore at 5'5", guard Alea Forrest. You mentioned Janiah McWilliams, the sophomore 5'7" guard. Hannah Tamu, the freshman at 5'7", and the forward at 6 foot sophomore Asi Jahad. Let's get things going, Matt.
And the tip is controlled by the Monarchs, and we are underway from the Mathias Center in Detroit. Matt Merrifield, Tom Cavanaugh on the call for Macomb and St. Clair County. On the right wing, it's McWilliams with the basketball. She'll swing over to the left side to Harris. She'll lift a three, and it falls. 3-0 early. One shot, one basket. Harris with the opening basket.
33% from deep this year for Harris. Didn't have the best game last week against Mott, but she's great.
And quickly on the transition, it's Kyriana Carter. 22 points on Saturday in the win for St. Clair County, and she's got her first two 30 seconds into this Wednesday evening.
Immediately showing her dominance, just physically and talent-wise, getting right down there and kissing it off the glass. Asi Jahad and Kyriana Carter is going to be the matchup to watch throughout tonight.
Those are the two leading scorers active in tonight's contest, as Carter coming in 13 points per game, Jahad with 15 a night. Now back with the basketball following a turnover. The Skippers have it on the left wing. Adrian Collins finds Carter on the free throw line. Handoff, mid-range two from the elbow. Nothing but net for Mayana Cooksey, the Detroit native, knocking down her first shot a minute in, and it's 4-3 now. St. Clair County with their first lead.
Graduated from Edison not too long ago. 13.5 per game for Cooksey. I mean, you just look at this roster, a lot of different players averaging double figures.
Tamu drives baseline, try to go for a skip pass, and it's intercepted. Cooksey now on the break, flings it ahead to Bowles underneath the basket, but can't find the bottom. Team's running fast on the break. Now it's Forrest straight down the lane, going with her left, and she's rejected by Carter. He'll stay with the Monarchs underneath the basket, but how about Kyriana Carter showing her size at both ends of the floor on the interior.
And Alea Forrest is not afraid to go to the rim without numbers. If it's a 1-on-2, 2-on-3, she's going to take it to the rack and finish a lot of times.
Entry pass underneath the basket, having trouble as Tamu whistled, and a held ball tie-up. Possession arrow favoring Macomb, so it'll stay with the Monarchs. Excuse me, actually it's going to go back to the Skippers, so be a turnover for Macomb. Already a couple here, just over 90 seconds into this matchup.
This is a Macomb team that forces a lot of turnovers, doesn't turn it over as much. SC4 applying the pressure early.
Cooksey going down the right of the lane, has it tipped away. On the far side of the floor, picked up by Mackenzie Harris. And now the Monarchs trying to find some more luck on the offensive end. Had the opening score. Now from the right wing, Jahad drops one in from long range. 6-4, and both baskets already for the Monarchs coming from deep.
Asi has improved heavily from her three-point range from her freshman year to sophomore. Great shot.
Driving inside, drawing a foul is Silver Bowles. She'll head to the line. with an opportunity to tie the game here at 7:48 of the first quarter.
Man, last two teams, mentioned the last time these two teams played. I know it was a blowout. Skippers 72, Macomb 57. Asi Jihad led all scorers with 26. She hit 5 threes in that game. So no stranger to hitting it from downtown against this SC4 team.
Silver Bowles at the line, the best free throw shooter on this St. Clair County squad, and she finds the netting on her first attempt, 72.5% on the season.
She's grown from last year. She was 5.5 points per game a year ago, has bumped that up to 7.5.
Second free throw attempt is off the heel and out. Loose ball on the floor. Going after is Taylor Wallace, and this time we'll have another tie-up. And they'll go back to the Monarchs off the missed free throw. It'll be Harris tasked with the inbound, and she'll find Forrest, who brings it up for the Monarchs across the timeline. Forrest working on Bowles now onto the right wing. She gives it off to McWilliams. Entry pass back to Harris underneath. Drawing the foul. It's going to go against Bowles, so now it'll be Harris to the line, and Macomb will get their first 2 free throws of the night.
I like that play set up there. The pass and pick away with Harris, who's not the tallest player on the floor, curling to the rim right there. It's great shot creation.
Unsuccessful on the first free throw attempt is Mackenzie Harris, coming off a 7-point performance on Saturday against Mott. She led the team in steals, however, with 3. She's able to split the pair and salvage a point, so Macomb back up by 2 at 7-5. And a 3-quarter court press forces a turnover. Now Tamu on the break, and a charge is taken by Silver Bowles. Costly turnover, but a nice defensive effort to get back. Bowles was the one who coughed it up. She takes the charge and gets the Skippers the basketball back.
That's how you right your wrong quickly, and head coach Mike Rue loves to see that, even though he's quite intense on the sideline over there.
Long stretch pass tipped out of bounds by Jihad. It'll stay with the Skippers, who having a little trouble in these last 2 possessions bringing the ball up the floor. So we have a substitution. Adrian Collins heading off. Autumn Purnell, the freshman, checking in. Cooksey takes the inbound. 20 seconds to shoot for St. Clair County. Bowles trying to guide traffic now on the right wing, guarded by McWilliams to Cooksey on the near side. Spins her way through the lane. Contact underneath. Unable to finish the shot, but she'll shoot 2 as Alea Forrest picks up her first foul of the night.
Interesting call there. Alea completely moving backward. She kind of fell over getting, well, it definitely wasn't a charge situation because her feet weren't set, but surprised they made that call there to send Cooksey to the line for 2.
Fresh off a 31-point performance on Saturday. She picks up her first points of the night. Now trying to even the score at 7 with 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cooksey, nothing but net, ties the game at 7. Macomb now 2 for 3 from the field, both of which from long range. Turnovers have been costly here early in this first quarter. As driving inside is Forrest, unable to find the basket on that shot. And another held ball underneath on the fight for the rebound. And St. Clair County.
It's 3 tie-ups in our first 3 minutes and 19 seconds of action.
Definitely see, obviously we knew coming in, St. Clair County is very aggressive going after the basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see that Macomb is coming right at them with the same intensity early. Wallace dribbling with her left, gets it back out to Bowles. Bowles drives in on McWilliams, scoops with the left, and that's a foul against McWilliams.
It's already 4 team fouls on Macomb. So remember, it's bonus time once you get to 5 per quarter. SC4 doing a nice job of driving, getting to the rim, and forcing those fouls out of the Monarchs.
And Janiah McWilliams averaging 10 points a game. Already picks up her second foul, so she heads to the bench. Number 24, Vanessa Galovich, comes in as the substitute.
It's almost a necessity to have McWilliams on the floor for a large majority of the contest. I mean, you look back, she played 39 of the 40 minutes back on Saturday against Mott.
Bowles goes 1 for 2. St. Clair back in front, is on the break. Quick transition, finding Jihad underneath, and she gets the easy lay.
Great feed to Asi. She was in the right spot, found it on the block. Heck of a pass from Galovich inside.
Galovich coming in off the bench, immediately picking up an assist, putting Macomb back in front. Cooksey, top of the arc, goes straight down the lane and using the window for 2. Exchanging quick baskets here at the 6-minute mark.
That's an impressive finish through contact, utilizing the glass. Freshman in Cooksey, dropping 31, as you mentioned, last week and picking up right where she left off.
Now it's Forrest going to work. She lifts it underneath. Comes up empty, now back the other way. Taylor Wallace stops in the lane, kick out. Cooksey from deep. No good. The ball kicks out, goes off the face of Forrest. Looks like she's okay, and now Macomb back the other way. Tamu has it poked away and went last off of her shin before going out of bounds. St. Clair gets the basketball back.
LA looks like she's fine, but she was waiting for that rebound to come down. One little deflection, bogged it off her forehead. And on the drive there from Tamu, I like the aggression, but a little bit out of control there. You saw one poke away, and it was off her knee and out of bounds. These turnovers have to be minimized in the next 5 minutes and 15 seconds to end the first quarter.
Cooksey slides it over to Wallace on the left wing, guarded by Harris. Going right off a screen from Carter. Another triple. No good. Offensive rebound. Cooksey with the second chance points underneath.
Man, we were talking about the size being, the big problem for Macomb. Cooksey at only 5'7", she's getting rebounds down there and finishing in the paint. Just working harder than Macomb at the moment.
Galovich with a 3 attempt. Left it short, and coming in for the rebound is Soleil de Jesus. On the break, she pushes it to Cooksey. Picks up her dribble and goes to Carter in the post. And she leaves it short. Jihad with the rebound, back ahead. It's Forrest. To Jihad, driving down the right side. Right-hand floater, no good. And rebound picked up by Cooksey. Cooksey now trying to weave through traffic, going all the way coast to coast, draws the foul, and she'll get to shoot 2.
Macomb a little bit late getting back that time. Cooksey's quick. Reminds me of Janiyah McWilliams of the Monarchs, just getting downhill and drawing those fouls. And now for the final 4 minutes and 10 seconds of the quarter, Matt, it's bonus time on any whistles against the Monarchs.
Yeah, you can see here early from the Skippers, looking to attack at all times, trying to get to the basket and hammer the basketball inside, trying to get to the free throw line. They've been pretty successful at that so far, already 4 for 6 from the stripe. Early on here, the rebound battle tied at 4 to this point, so Macomb doing a good job, but as you said, Macomb needs to maybe do a little bit better of a job just getting back and keeping up with the speed of the St. Clair squad.
Absolutely they do. And you look at the one big stat that points out to me right now is 4 turnovers for the Monarchs compared to just 1 for the Skippers. And I know there's only 4 points off of those turnovers, but that's the difference in the game right now besides, between being up 1 and down 3. Got to be able to clean up those turnovers. We saw the 3-quarter press from Macomb early on, something that's been effective all year long. But when you have Cooksey sprinting down the floor, weaving between defenders, at some point you kind of just have to get back and guard in that half court.
It's the Macomb team that forced 15 turnovers on Saturday in their win over Mott. As we return to action following the under 5 timeout here in the first quarter. St. Clair County with an early 3-point lead, 12-9 over Macomb, looking to stretch it to the largest lead of the game. If Cooksey can come up with a couple free throws. Her second trip to the line, first on this trip, left it off the front iron. Cooksey coming into tonight 60 for 100 from the line, 60% flat from the stripe. And she goes 1 for 2 on this trip. As back up the floor, contact between Mackenzie Harris and Autumn Purnell. Purnell picks up the foul with the block.
It's 60 for 100. I'm looking at that 100 number. In 18 games, taking 100 free throw attempts, I mean, that's something. Getting to the line a lot.
On the left side of the arc, it's Forrest. Up top to Jihad. And a pass tipped out of bounds. Harris not ready for the basketball. Another Monarch turnover.
Yeah, already 8 free throw attempts for SC4 compared to just 2 for the Monarchs. I mean, that is something that has to be corrected quickly. And that's partly on Macomb, not fouling, but also kind of returning the favor and getting downhill, going to the rim.
Looks like there's a foul on the floor. Number 4, Hannah Tamu. That'll send number 22, Adrian Collins, to the free throw line. As Tommy mentioned before, St. Clair County already in the bonus. As Tamu heads to the bench, Ruby Sanderson will come in. Collins at the stripe, just 3 for 9 from the line this year. Make it now 4 for 10 as she's successful on her first attempt. Collins, a Marysville native in her sophomore season, as it hits the heel and out on the second. Offensive rebound by Carter. Outside, it's Wallace. That's the basketball tipped out of bounds by Harris. It will stay with the Skippers.
It's a couple of offensive rebounds now in favor of SC4 that continuing to linger these possessions.
From the near corner, it's Bowles trying to inbound. She finds Carter. Double team, spins, fadeaway 2, rattles around and down.
A little Dirk Nowitzki action there on that fadeaway. Nice shot.
Even had the kick, too, with it.
Yep.
Alea Forrest with the basketball, 3.5 to play in the first quarter. Macomb down 7. Galovich resets up top, faces up, and throws a pass to the corner intended for Jihad, and it goes out of bounds. Another Monarch turnover.
It was partially a bad pass into the corner, but also great defense from Carter. She was shielding Jihad into that corner so that the feed pass was not down on the block. That's just good defense against a good player.
8-0 run for St. Clair County over the last 3 minutes and change. Carter back out to the right wing. DeJesus. DeJesus pumps a 3. Offensive rebound for St. Clair County. A third chance at it. Carter can't find the bottom either. And now up ahead, it's Forrest. Forrest now looking for a teammate. And the lane is wide open, and Forrest takes it to the rack and in. Nobody in the paint down low, and Forrest picks up an easy deuce.
Nice little turnaround. She faked to go back to the middle and noticed nobody was around her for miles.
She even had Galovich open in the right corner.
Yep.
Is now backing out behind the arc is Bowles. Kicks it up top to Wallace. Wallace dribbling with her left. Contested 2 is off the mark. Galovich with the board. Stretch pass ahead. St. Clair County wants a travel. No call off of pick and a 3-point attempt from Forrest. Takes a hop out of bounds here at 2:13.
I wouldn't consider that to be, obviously not a turnover that time, but pseudo type of turnover. Ball don't lie on the sense of SC4 with the missed 3-pointer. Kind of just a rush shot there from Alea. She hasn't gotten off to the greatest start for today's game, but you know for sure she's going to continue to play how she has all year long, being aggressive, going to the rim, and not passing up open threes.
Yeah, she's had back-to-back 21-point games. She shot the ball from deep well in the last 2 games as well, but not the best start for Macomb. Under the basket, Carter with the extra pass, and it's a turnover. Now a 3-on-2. Galovich going to take it herself, coast to coast. Right hand draws the foul. No finish, so she'll shoot 2. And Galovich is a little slow to get up after taking the contact on the layup.
She's grabbing at that left ankle currently. Looks to be in a lot of pain. But that's kind of the recipe for how Macomb's going to have to battle back in this game. Do exactly that when you're in transition. Get to the rim, force those fouls, and even with under 2 to play, you still have a chance to maybe be in some bonus time, but continue to get this SC4 team in a little bit of foul trouble just as you are.
As Galovich,
she can't put any weight on it.
Having trouble getting back to her feet. As the trainer and her teammate, Alea Forrest, both come in to help get her off the floor. Hopefully we'll see her back in action soon. She heads off to get looked after, having taken a fall on the layup attempt. having trouble putting pressure on her ankle.
Galovich was pivotal piece last year for this Macomb team. 6.8 points per game. She grabbed just under 4.5 rebounds. This year, she's kind of taken more of a sixth-man role after starting almost the entire year back in 24-25. But still, good output at 8 points per game, 40% shooter. They're going to need her back, especially on the glass. She gets 5.5 per game. That's a big loss right now for Macomb as she's being tended to.
Yeah, it's Hannah Tamu who will take the free throws in place of Galovich, who, like you mentioned, has been that sixth man, has been really good off the bench. In 11 games, she has 2 double-doubles off the bench this year, including last Wednesday at Henry Ford, as Tamu has an empty trip at the stripe, so will remain 16-11 in favor of St. Clair County here late in the first quarter. Wallace gives it off to DeJesus. DeJesus cuts across the lane, kick out. Near side 3. Off the mark, battle for the rebound. That's a foul going against St. Clair County on Carter.
Might have grabbed onto Jihad, trying to pull down that rebound. It's a fortunate call right there from Macomb, because as soon as I heard the whistle, I thought they were going to call it on Ossie. It's an opportunity to close the gap here. Down by 5 with 90 seconds.
On the left side, it's Mackenzie Harris. Back to the top, Tamu. Now running the offense through fourth. Driving baseline is Jihad. She lost the basketball. It looks like there's going to be a foul underneath.
And we said it. That Galovich foul made it 3, and just like that, it's 5 fouls within the last, or 3 fouls coming in the last 30, 45 seconds. And now, even with a $1.15, you got some time to make it up at the stripe. Lord knows that right now Macomb needs to get back to the charity stripe a little bit more.
And that is the second foul on Kyriana Carter. That's 2 in 21 seconds, so it's going to be some foul trouble for the leading scorer on St. Clair County, as Jihad at the line knocks in her first attempt. 52.5% from the stripe this season. 5th in the conference in rebounding as she goes 2 for 2. And now it's a 3-point game with 1:15 to play in the first. After picking up that second foul, Carter heads to the bench. Number 0, Maggie Stadler from Macomb coming in. As that press trying to force another turnover. Bowles, long stretch pass, finds Cooksey, who backs her way down on the right block. Now backs out behind the arc. Mismatch with Jihad on her. Cutting across to her left, throws it up with, and a wild shot attempt is missed, but she picks the pocket of Jihad, getting it back. Cooksey goes inside, the foul, and they'll wave off the basket, saying the foul occurred on the floor. How about the defense of Mayana Cooksey hounding the back pocket of Jihad and now going back to the line?
I mean, that's just a never give up mentality right there. You know, you mentioned it. She was definitely undersized facing off against Jihad. Misses the layup with contact and doesn't just look to get back and play defense. She immediately goes for the pickpocket. That's an incredible play. Tenacious defense and attitude there from Cooksey, who I'm very impressed by. And she's only played 18 games of ball in her college career and making her mark on this program right now.
Cooksey's first free throw attempt left short. She's the leading scorer in this game so far with 9 points, and the second one is short as well. Rebound, Stadler fighting for it, coming out with his Harris. There's a foul on the deck. And they'll walk it 94 feet back the other way, and now Macomb will shoot free throws here at 49.5 of the first quarter.
4 of the 5 starters for Macomb right now, Matt, all with some sort of foul. And McWilliams and Tamu both with 2. We haven't seen McWilliams for a large majority of this first quarter, something that this team isn't used to. She's on the floor almost at all times, and you can kind of tell that, I mean, give Macomb credit for sticking in this down 2, but when she's off the floor, there's a little bit of a drop-off when it comes to the speed and the pace of this team getting down the floor.
Mackenzie Harris shooting the free throws. Knocks in the first. The second is unsuccessful as Stadler picks up the offensive rebound. She'll miss the second chance shot, and it'll remain a 2-point game as Macomb had a look to tie the score here late in the first. Bowles over to the near side. Wallace. Walled off by Harris back up top. Now it's Autumn Purnell back in the game. Bowles across the lane, stood up, and the ball's ripped out. held ball once again. What's that now? The fourth of this first quarter. And possession goes back to Macomb. So they'll have the final shot of this opening frame and a chance to tie or take the lead.
It's good active hands from Maggie Stadler. She didn't play back on Saturday. She's been in 16 games this season, 1.9 points per game, but nice defensive possession there to get it back.
Macomb with a 5-0 run of their own. Now within 2. Game clock down to 10. Jihad, stretch pass to the left corner, trying the 3. Harris, nothing but air. Now just 3 seconds to go. Bulls pass up ahead. Collins at the buzzer, sails over the backboard. And 16-14 is where we will finish this first quarter between St. Clair County, 12-6, 3-0 in conference on the year against Macomb Community College at 13-5, 2-1 in conference play. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the second quarter of action in this 2-point contest between St. Clair County and Macomb. Welcome back for the second quarter from the Mathis Center in downtown Detroit, the home of the Macomb Monarchs for this 2025 or 26 season. Matt Merrifield joined alongside Tom Cavanaugh as St. Clair County with the ball to start the second. And the Skippers in front by 2. Back and forth dogfight in the first 10 minutes. We'll see what this second quarter has in store. Going down the middle is Bowles. Cuts back to her left hand. The scoop attempt is too high. As now it'll be corralled by Janiyah McWilliams back in the game after picking up 2 early fouls. Now on the break. Forrest on the near wing. Backs out to the top of the arc. Forrest tied with McWilliams for the team lead in assists at just under 3 a game. Euro step through the lane. Forrest leaves it short. Gets her own rebound. Throws it back towards the basket. And 2 unsuccessful shots.
1 of 6 shooting the basketball right now for Alea. Very uncharacteristic. Check that, 1 of 7.
Off of 1 foot from the mid-range. It's left short by Autumn Purnell.
Macomb fortunate currently to only be down 2 with 7 turnovers in that first quarter, Matt. Right now, SC4 0 for 4 from downtown in 16 total shots. If that keeps up, Macomb's going to have a good chance to stay in it.
Sanderson with a 3. No good. Jihad offensive rebound. And the little bunny from short distance ties the game at 16.
Got to get those offensive rebounds, second chance points. They're going to help Macomb continue to stay in this ballgame. First time it's been tied since the beginning of the contest.
Now 9 points for Jihad with that layup, leading the Monarchs. A triple from DeJesus is no good. Rebound squirts out, picked up by Harris, trying to take it the distance. Stop, uses her pivot foot, but can't find the basket to keep this game tied. Now it's Bowles working on Sanderson. Spinning around, able to work her way past Anderson, misses. Collins, and is blocked underneath. It'll stay with the Skippers. 15 to shoot, 7:57 to play in the second quarter. Only 2 points total between these two teams in the second quarter.
And I can kind of say the same thing for both teams on both of their last possessions. Great shot creation, but just cannot find it to go. Harris for the Monarchs, and then Bowles on the other end for SC4. Both doing a nice job of getting in the paint, finding an open shot, but both teams just unable to score.
Cooksey back in the game. She receives the inbound pass. Now returns it to Bowles. Mid-range 2 is off the iron. Carter gets the rebound. Back out to Cooksey. She'll attack the basket. Foul on Jihad. And Cooksey going right back to the free throw line.
And she's just a free throw machine. It's an easy pump fake dribble driver past her defender and then gets the contact there. She does a nice job of inducing that contact and still getting a strong shot up.
Cooksey with 9 points tonight, 3 for 6 from the stripe. And she'll find the bottom of the net on her first attempt. The last trip, she left both short. Made the correction, however, on that first attempt, putting the Skippers back in front, 17-16. Cooksey goes 2 for 2, now up to 11 points on the evening, leading all scorers. See what kind of response Macomb has. We get a whistle from the near side official. Didn't catch what the stoppage was for.
I'm trying to read the eyes of everybody on the floor and both benches to see where the attention is.
They did take 4 seconds off the clock. So I think what happened is that the shot clock started, but the game clock didn't. Because it was at 7:45 when they shot the free throw. So I think that was the reason. Now we got it all squared away. On the near side, Sanderson, hounded by Carter, going left off a screen from Jihad. Sanderson with some space, gives off to Tamu, who's denied at the rim by Carter, out of bounds. We talk about her rebounding, but Kyriana Carter, second in the conference in blocks, now up to 40 on the season with that one.
Wow. That was an impressive block right there. Tamu, not afraid, went right at her. Kyriana Carter symbolizing kind of what we're going to see in Joey Angok for the Macomb men's team a little bit later with that size and length.
And how about McWilliams taking it to the 10 and finding her first 2 points of the night, 18-18. Aggressive defense by Sanderson on Cooksey. Cooksey gets rid of it to Bowles on the right side, going left off a screen from Carter. Back out to Collins on the near corner, trying to drive past Tamu, walled off on the baseline, down to 7. Bowles into the paint. Carter can't get the roll. Rebound Jihad.
Let's pull down from Aussie.
Force trying to conduct the offense. Gives it off to McWilliams on the near. McWilliams drives inside. Tried to kick out, but the pass is intercepted. No one ready for the outlet pass, but coming back to the basketball is Taylor Walls to save the possession. Cooksey steps into a midi 2. That one's off as well, rebounded by McWilliams.
I know she missed that one, but cannot leave Cooksey that open.
And coast to coast, straight down Main Street. McWilliams takes it to the basket. Now up by 2, Macomb in front.
Janiyah lost in transition that time, but that's the kind of effect she has when she's on the floor. With that speed, she's able to go right down Main Street, as you said, Matt.
Now Cooksey trying to take it to the basket. The foul and the finish underneath. Looked like that one was on Jihad.
Something has to be done about allowing Mayana Cooksey to get to the rim here and finish through the contact. We said earlier that she does a nice job of inducing the contact and going up strong with it. She showed it right there. But I'll give Macomb credit. I mean, Matt, you mentioned in the open what the scores were. What was it, 18 points in average differential last year and 3 losses to this Skipper team? We got a ball game on our hands. And Macomb, by no means playing their best basketball right now. They can play a lot better when it comes to not fouling, containing Mayana Cooksey, and rebounding the basketball, because we've seen several offensive boards that have led to, 4 more shot attempts right now for SC4 than Macomb.
Cooksey back at the line. Doesn't get the +1, so will remain 20-20. McWilliams once again. Cross-country travel. And she takes it the distance. Now 6 points for McWilliams, all in this second frame. Carter dribbles into the interior, back out to Bowles. That last foul on Jihad on the last possession was her 3rd already. She had 9 points and 6 rebounds already in this first half, but she's going to have to take a seat in foul trouble as it's Wallace with her turn trying to attack the rim. Another foul going against the Monarchs.
Oh, they gave that to McWilliams. It was either going to be her or Maggie Stadler, and Janiyah is animated over there because now she's going to have to come out of the game with 3 fouls. Aussie as well is on the bench. Those are 2 of your top players that are taking a seat due to foul trouble. Aussie last year, she struggled with that foul trouble, has been better this year. But right now, McWilliams very frustrated picking that one up.
Yeah, head coach Kurt Carolyn in his 2nd season, he's going to have to be real strategic with how he manages the minutes. Depth just not a strength for either one of these teams. Benches don't run super deep. As at the line, Wallace knocks down her first.
Sorry, Matt. You still have Galovich over there tending with the trainer there, so she's not good to go. On the bench, you have Ava Kilgore and Kurt Williams. Those are your only other 2 to go to when it comes to non-foul trouble assets.
Well, it's going to be Maggie Stadler trying to take it to the basket. She's swatted. Now on the break, Wallace inside with a little help from the rim. 1-point advantage now for St. Clair County, a back-and-forth affair so far in this first half. Forrest trying to get her game going, 1 for 7 from the field, just 2 points tonight, off to Tamu on the right wing. Tamu has it tipped away. That's a foul on number 10, Kyriana Carter. That's her 3rd.
A lot of whistles today, and I don't think they're unwarranted. I think what we've seen pertaining to the whistles have been, they've been warranted. I'm repeating what I'm saying here, but both these teams doing a really nice job of forcing the foul trouble. They're not doing a good job of defending without fouling, although I will give the Skippers a little bit of credit for, what do they have, 4 or 5 blocks now? Those could easily go for shooting fouls to allow Macomb to continue to climb, take the lead and beyond, but both sides getting the whistles right now. We're going to have to see how head coach Mike Grew on the other side is going to deal with a couple of his players in foul trouble too.
Yeah, I would definitely agree in terms of how heavy of a whistle the officials have. I think it's more so both teams are playing hard.
Yeah.
Just the execution hasn't been there. That's why you're seeing SC4 do a great job getting to the basket. And although maybe not finishing every time, getting to the line, similar situation. That's kind of also where the turnovers are coming in. So both teams have the intensity here. Both teams want to pick up what could be a crucial conference win later on in the season. But right now it's just who can execute, stay out of foul trouble and knock down some more shots.
I mean, the Skippers are shooting 28% from the field. They're 7 of 25. But when you shoot 17 free throws, and they're still shooting poorly from the charity stripe, Matt, at 52%. They've made 9 of 17. That's not good. And neither is it from Macomb. They're 4 of 8 from the line. But Skippers have shot double the amount of shots from the line. And, when you only make 7 baskets, but you take 17 free throws, you're going to find yourself in the lead, as the Skippers do currently.
It's coming out of the timeout. 4:50 to play in the second quarter. 23-22 in favor of St. Clair County. The Skippers 3-0 in conference play. Macomb at 2-1, but it's Macomb who received votes in the D2 national poll earlier this week. High pass, too high, intended for Mackenzie Harris. Tamu was trying to find her teammate underneath the basket, and it'll be another Macomb turnover coming out of the timeout.
Here, Harris needed to grow about 4 inches right there to be able to pull that one down on the opposite block.
Taylor Wallace has it tipped out to the near corner. Bowles, she'll drive inside, misses, follows up on her attempt, and that's a foul on Tamu. And that's number 3 for her as well. So the freshman Hannah Tamu picks up a 3rd foul. That's now 3 Monarchs with 3 fouls.
Yeah, and right now Galovich back to the bench, but she has ice on that left ankle, so it does not look like she's going to be able to go in the foreseeable future this game. And 3 fouls, 3 ways across for this team. We're seeing Kurt Williams be able to get in for the first time. She did not play last Saturday against Mott, but when you have a small bench, it's a danger zone that you're playing with right now.
Second free throw rolls and falls off the rim, so it's just a 2-point game after going 1 for 2. Kurt Williams about ready to check in. Another foul. That one's on Bowles. So Tamu comes out after picking up her 3rd. Kurt Williams comes in, just her 6th game of the season. This is her first time playing in conference play as well. See what kind of run she gets here late in the first half. chance to tie or take the lead. Near side, Stadler. Stadler jab step, now takes it in. Uses her left hand off the mark. Purnell cleans up the rebound as St. Clair County looks to extend. Driving past Sanderson, Cooksey with another bucket.
15 for Cooksey to lead all scores. She's going to have one heck of a night if Macomb continues to allow her to get to the rim as easy as she just did right there.
Foul picked up by Soleil de Jesus as it was Alea Forrest trying to get to the rim.
Forrest frustrated getting up off the deck there as she's heading to the line. Shooting the ball today has not been great for her. 1 of 8. 0 for 1 from downtown. Really hasn't pulled it from the three-point line. And they're going to switch this. I think Alea thought it was a shooting foul. It's not.
Well, instead, it'll be an inbound pass from underneath the basket. Harris bounce pass in to Forrest on that far corner. Driving baseline, stops, kick out. Harris from long range. Bounces around and out. Kurt Williams with the rebound. Second chance. And she'll find her first point of conference play and ties the game at 20. Excuse me, now makes it a 2-point game, 26-24.
Great impact from Kurt Williams coming in off the bench.
DeJesus able to scoop up the rebound. Back out to Bowles. Bowles driving, working on Stadler. Too strong with the floater. And there's a reach-in foul as Forrest tried to take it up the floor.
Let me know if you disagree with me here, Matt, but I think that SC4 is just working a lot harder for these rebounds. I mean, it's kind of like we're watching Michigan State's Tom Izzo team go against the other team they played this year. Right now, especially on those second chance, those offensive rebounds, SC4 is working harder.
Well, rebounding is an effort, more of an effort thing than it is a size thing. There are plenty of big teams that don't rebound well because you've got to go after the basketball. Very few land in your lap.
Very well said.
And there's an offensive foul against Macomb, so it'll go the other way, an offensive turnover for the Monarchs.
And it's led to some of the foul trouble, too. I remember, I think it was Tamu's third foul. She allowed an easy offensive rebound, and she was out of position, ended up having to foul to not allow the basket. So it's happened a few times here.
Collins catch and shoot release and finds the net. Adrian Collins with the 3. Well, they correct, it was only a 2 for Collins, so it's a 4-point lead. I was about to say it's our first 3 of the second quarter. We're still looking for it. Driving inside. There's a foul. Forrest was looking for it. It's going to go against number 11, Soleil de Jesus.
I mean, the fouls are coming for the skippers too right now, Matt, but they're a little more dispersed. 6 different skippers with at least 1 foul to their name. Carter's the only one with 3, and Bowles, Purnell, and DeJesus all with 2.
Forrest at the line. Her first one is good. This is her 48th game in her career with the Monarchs. She has started all 48 over the last 2 seasons. And she goes 2 for 2. We mentioned how she's struggling a little bit from the field. Well, she's a very good free throw shooter, and that's a good way to get the confidence going. She goes 2 for 2 at the stripe, back to a 2-point game. 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. And number 2, Silver Bowles with the basketball. Good defense from Kurt Williams being aggressive. Off to Cooksey. Cooksey slips through the lane. Out to Collins from the near corner again. She goes back-to-back from that mid-range 2.
I was going to say, she's loving that near side corner here on the left side is Adrian Collins.
Stadler passes off to Mackenzie Harris, top of the key. Double team comes. Pass over to Forrest on the left. Thinks about a 3, now starts their dribble. Shot clock down to 5. Harris to Stadler, pumps, puts it on the deck. Entry pass to Williams, 1 second. Misses the shot, rebound, back up and in. Coach Gruhl wants a shot clock violation.
Oh, he can't believe it. It just hit the very underside of the back tin. Right as the buzzer sounded. Nice job by Kurt Williams to follow it up.
Great awareness by Williams to get that shot off in time. Coming up with the rebound as inside a foul. They're going to wave it off. Foul was on the floor.
It's unfortunate right there for the Monarchs. Kurt Williams right there, able to finish on the offensive side, but Bowles went right by her and got to the cup.
Williams picks up the foul. That's her first. But how about this freshman from River Rouge coming in for a first action of conference play? 4 points, 2 rebounds, both offensive. And we mentioned kind of the depth aspect of these two teams. It was Macomb who had 10 points off the bench only in their win over Mott on Saturday. St. Clair County only had 3 points off the bench. These are two teams that lean on their starters heavy. Not that there's a ton of depth to go around. And we're going to have to really see which team can get some production from their bench here with all the fouls mounting up. 1 minute to play in the first half. 28-20, 32-28. Stadler back out to Forrest. Outside. Corner 3, too strong from Sanderson. Back ahead, Cooksey. Extra pass underneath Collins. Good recovery by Stadler to get back. Collins bounce pass. And a 3-second violation on Adrian Collins. So great recovery on defense by the Monarchs to get back as Collins thought she had an open look, had to pass it up, and eventually got called for 3 in the lane.
A great recovery defense. And it was the right pass by Mayana Cooksey, but by the way she's been playing today, I'd keep the ball in her hands at all times.
5-second difference between shot and game clock. Forrest picks up her dribble. Cooksey trying to knock it loose off to Stadler on the near side. Stadler takes a shoulder from Collins. Now driving baseline. Harris, acrobatic finish off the window and in. 10 seconds until halftime. Taylor Wallace takes it up, passes it off. Bowles down to 3 in the lane, throws it high off the glass, no good. And that is where the first half will come to an end. A 2-point contest in favor of St. Clair County. As it's in a back and forth affair filled with fouls in the first half, Tom. As on the Macomb side of things, 3 starters with 3 fouls. And for St. Clair County, they have 1. Their best player, Kyriana Carter, with 3. And then they have 3 other players with 2.
24 combined fouls in the first 20 minutes of play. 11 for SC4, 13 for Macomb. So as we mentioned, it's pretty even on both sides. It's just a little more clumped up between a couple of players on the Macomb side. And I really think the Monarchs could be winning this game if their impact players weren't sitting on the bench for a large majority of that first half. I'm impressed with how they closed the gap there at the end. They were down 6, could have been down 8, maybe 10 points at the half. Mackenzie Harris with a great finish on the other end, and I think the rebounding is starting to pick up a little bit. Mayana Cooksey, I know she's had her moments, but has been a little bit silent in that 10-minute second quarter. For SC4 and head coach Mike Rue, you continue to keep the foot on the gas with her. Rebound the basketball on both ends, you'll be fine. Macomb's got to do a nice job of not fouling in this second half, keeping their impact players on the floor and hitting some big shots.
Yeah, currently at the moment, Macomb with the rebounding advantage, 23-19, despite St. Clair County having the best rebound margin in the conference coming in today. Not only the most rebounds total, but also dominating the glass against their opponents as well. But it's a 2-point lead in favor of St. Clair County here at the halftime break. We're going to step aside for a few moments, and we'll be back for more action between St. Clair County and Macomb here from Detroit. welcome back to Wayne State University as Macomb and St. Clair County going back and forth. It's halftime between the Skippers and the Monarchs, and St. Clair County with the 32-30 advantage over Macomb through the first 2 quarters. Matt Merrifield joined alongside Tom Cavanaugh here in the broadcast booth, and pretty even first half to this point. Obviously, the story of the game so far, Tom, has been the foul trouble for both sides, but it's going to be interesting to see how both teams come out here in the second half.
Yeah, I'm really going to look at how head coach Kurt Caroline approaches these final 20 minutes with 3 of his top players, 3 of his starters, mind you, all with 3 fouls. And remember, in college basketball, it's only 5. It's not 6 like the pros. So you really got to be careful with Janiyah McWilliams, Hannah Tamu, and Asi Jihad. Jihad leading the way with 9 for the Monarchs as well. So I think a big part of that is, how is this team going to be able to contain Mayana Cooksey? She's already been to the line 9 times. She's only made 5 of them, but 15 points to lead all scorers in 17 minutes of action. She gets her head downhill. She's able to shake defenders around the arc and get to the rim, whether it be finishing through contact or drawing a foul and going to the free throw line. So it's kind of a 2-pronged play right there between, being able to contain her and then also not fouling. And I know we talked about it at the end of the half. When you look at the rebounds, +4 on the Macomb side. I still felt like with my naked eye watching the game, Macomb was out-rebounded, especially on the offensive glass. They got to be able to block out and not allow these second or third chances, because even though it's a 2-point game, the big reason for that, and Macomb only trailing by a deuce, is because SC4 is 10 of 32 shooting the basketball for 31%. Matt, they're 0 of 5 from downtown. They haven't scored anything but 1s and 2s all game like we're playing 21. And Macomb, they've taken 3 less shots, but they've made 1 more with 2 triples. So they've stayed in the game just because of 1 more made shot. They're shooting a better percentage and, out-rebounding, even though, in my opinion, it doesn't feel that way just because of the fouls and extra shots that SC4 is getting.
Hey, you mentioned the 3-point percentage. Macomb made their first 2 threes of the game, and since then, we have not had one since.
Nope.
Like you mentioned, 0 for 5 for St. Clair County and 2 for 8. So that's 11 straight misses combined between the 2 teams from beyond the arc, but still Macomb, who has to rely more on that perimeter game, is still sticking with the Skippers so far in this contest. Now, the big player to watch for St. Clair County coming in today, although Cooksey was the one with 31 points on Saturday for the Skippers, Kyriana Carter, the D2 JUCO Player of the Week, coming in, had a monster week. She had, 19 and 11? Or 22 and 19. 22 points, 19 rebounds in their game on Saturday. And yet, now part of it was foul trouble, but still, only 4 points, 2 rebounds in that first half. And all 3 of those fouls kind of came consecutively right at the beginning of the second quarter. So even through the first quarter of play where she didn't have fouls, Macomb was still able to take her away.
And I think Macomb was just, giving SC4 a little bit of a taste of their own medicine getting downhill. We saw Leah Forrest draw a couple fouls. Mackenzie Harris did the same thing. Asi Jihad and Janiyah McWilliams, when they were able to do the same thing, even though they had limited time in that first half. But taking Kyriana Carter out of the game like that was huge, and head coach Mike Grew for the Skippers has to kind of do the same thing and monitor her minutes, monitor how she's able to play in this second half, and how strong she can be defensively, because we saw her with some big blocks, but it takes 1 whistle from any of these stripes for that to become a 4th foul and then possibly 5. And if she grabs a 4th foul early in the 3rd, she's going to be on the bench until the 4th quarter.
Well, it'll be a fun second half to watch here in this conference matchup midweek, St. Clair County and Macomb. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back for the second half of action. Stick around. We'll be back after this. Time for the second half between Macomb County and St. Clair County. here from the Mathai Center in downtown Detroit and the campus of Wayne State University. Early in conference play, Macomb coming in 2-1 in conference. St. Clair County still undefeated at 3-0. Second half is underway. Monarchs with the basketball and their grays with blue trim. Mackenzie Harris pass off to McWilliams on the near wing with 3 fouls. Back across to Forrest. Finds Tamu cutting underneath the basket. Misses the bunny. And Cooksey out with the board. That's a look that Macomb really would have wanted to open up the half and tie the game.
Yeah, it was a tailor-made wide open layup. She's got to finish that one.
Cooksey going straight to work and picking up where she left off. 2 points for the guard, Mayana Cooksey. Now 17 on the night, leading all scores.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she has back-to-back 30-point performances, Matt.
Jihad well beyond the arc. Takes a screen from Tamu. Now tries to get it back, but poked out by Carter. Right back to Jihad inside. That one's off the heel, no good. So 2 good looks down low from Macomb, but both unsuccessful. And back on the break, the foul and the finish for Kyriana Carter, running the floor well. Takes the bump and now goes to the line for a 3-point play.
Tamu just picked up number 4, so she's likely to be out for a large majority of this third quarter, if not the entire thing, as Ruby Sanderson checks in. But Kyriana Carter, we mentioned, kept her pretty silent in that first half. She ran the floor incredibly well right there to get an easy bucket.
And she caps off the 3-point play at the line. Now up to 7 points tonight. Leading scorer that's active in this game for St. Clair County, 13 points a game. She leads the conference in rebounding at 15.5 a night, but only had 2 in the first half. On the right wing, it's Mackenzie Harris. On a cut, finds Jihad, left it short, gets her own rebound, foul, and 1. Asi Jihad answers back at the other end. Carter picked up the foul as well. That's the 4th on Carter, so she'll head to the bench.
We said it early on in the third. If she picks up a whistle, she's going to be out for, I said, the entire third quarter. We're going to see, but that's huge for Asi to get her own rebound and go right back up with it. She's so determined when she gets down there inside the paint to go up strong instead of looking to kick out, and it pays off there not only for the score but also for the personnel for the Skippers.
Jihad off the mark on the free throw. Long stretch pass over the top, and it finishes at the rim. Silver Bowls
just outrunning the Monarchs right now. That's back-to-back possessions where they got out in front of the defense, and head coach Kurt Caroline needs to correct that quickly. He is frustrated, to say the least.
And not the best start to the second half for the Monarchs. It was a 2-point game when we started. Now stretched out to a 7-point lead in favor of the Skippers here at 8:18 of the third quarter. And with that, we're going to take a quick 30-second break while Coach Carolyn talks over with his squad here from Detroit. It's Macomb and St. Clair County. Coming out of the timeout, 8:18 to play in the third quarter. Macomb down 39-32 to St. Clair County on this Wednesday evening, the first of a doubleheader tonight. Myself and Tom Cavanaugh, the men's game between St. Clair County and Macomb coming up about a half hour after the conclusion of this contest. McWilliams drives inside, now back out to Forrest. Forrest hop-stepped, left hand, spins off the rim, no good. Rebound, Jihad, back out top to McWilliams. With her left hand, goes inside, throws it at the backboard off, and tipped out of bounds. Coach Caroline not happy, but it's going to go back to the Skippers. A couple looks for Forrest near the basket. Still struggling from the field here in this contest.
It's just not Alea's night so far. It's not like she's just chucking it up at the backboard. I mean, these are good looks, but 1 of 9 from the field.
A little bit of English off the glass from Silver Bowles, drawing the foul. +1, so now she'll head to the line. 9-point game, the largest lead of the night for St. Clair County. A chance to stretch it to double digits for the first time. Sanderson picked up her 2nd foul. Bowles cashes in the free throw, a 3-point play. The 2nd by the Skippers in this 3rd quarter already.
And Matt, we spoke about how the poor shooting of SC4 was keeping Macomb in the game with Macomb's turnover problems and the fouls. 4 of 4 from the field here in the 3rd quarter. That's why it's a 10-point game.
Jihad with the size advantage on Cooksey, bullies her way in, passes off, and 1 in favor of Macomb. Ruby Sanderson with the back cut. Great job by Jihad to back her way in. When the defense tried to double her, Sanderson was open. That's
a great dish down low. Sanderson able to finish. We haven't seen many finishes through contact for this Macomb team today. They have 36% from the field, only 13 made baskets, but that's a big one to try to turn the tide here.
Sanderson with the free throw, only 3 for 7 on the year. Well, she'll drop it in for the 3-point play, down to a 7-point game. 7:15 to play, pass to Collins on the far block, ripped loose by Macomb. Now it's Mackenzie Harris. 3-on-3, she dribbles through traffic, pass off to Sanderson, and a travel on the sophomore guard from Sterling Heights. That'll be a Macomb turnover after they thought they had an opportunity on the break.
And her momentum was taking her too far down, right to left there, and hard to stop on a dime like that, even with those squeaky shoes.
To the near corner, Collins had a little trouble receiving the pass. Now back to Bowles. Bowles after that bucket and 1 a moment ago into double figures, but she turns it over on the pass looking for Cooksey inside. McWilliams, she'll take it herself all the way down, up and in.
Back-to-back turnovers leading to good things for Macomb. And how about Janiah McWilliams getting downhill again?
I don't know what it is about McWilliams. She seems to have defender repellent when she drives inside. There's nobody in the lane contesting her shots, and she's the only one we've seen that for tonight on either side. Sanderson on the right, dribbles with her left, back out to Harris in the corner. Now she works past Collins, trying to draw a foul. Not enough for a whistle. Adrian Collins able to draw the foul on Mackenzie Harris before midcourt.
Felt like a clean poke there from Harris.
And with that foul, now all 5 starters for Macomb have picked up their foul. She was the only one of the 5 starters for Macomb who hadn't picked up a foul in the first half. The only player that's played tonight so far for Macomb without a foul at this point is Maggie Stadler. Off a screen, mid-range 2 from Cooksey, a late whistle, and that's now 2 on Harris.
2 quick ones, wow. That's kind of been the theme tonight as well. I mean, we've seen a couple of Monarchs grab back-to-back fouls real quick.
Just like that, Cooksey back at the line, 5 for 9 in the first half from the charity stripe.
Her and Bowles have combined for 18 attempts at the line. This is going to be 19 and 20 between Cooksey and Bowles.
Cooksey, 17 points tonight, 13.5 a game this season. Her first free throw, nothing but nylon. Now up to a 6-point game, 43-37. But should be no surprise to how well she's been filling it up here as of late. Since Christmas in the 5 games, she's averaging 19 points a night. As we mentioned before, she had 31 on Saturday.
That's impressive.
Her game has definitely been clicking on the offensive end as late. She goes 2 for 2, now up to 19 points. Forrest finds Jihad down low. Jihad passed off to Sanderson. Give and go back to Jihad. No good. Sanderson battles for the offensive board, and she finishes inside.
Offensive rebounds in favor of the Macomb Monarchs now. A couple of chances there to get a big bucket, only trailing by 5.
Sanderson now with 5 points and 4 rebounds. for the sophomore off the bench here this afternoon. As mid-range 2 from the right elbow, DeJesus finds the bottom. The freshman from Florida. Wonder how she's handling the weather here as of late. A little frigid the last couple days, but
can't be good, man. Can't be good. What was it, 2 degrees yesterday? Today, 3 inches of snow. You can't avoid it.
Left wing, it's Alea Forrest driving left on Bowles. And they're going to charge Bowles with a foul. That is her third that she picked up. That'll take us to the under 5 timeout here in the third quarter as St. Clair County is starting to get a grip. Macomb trying to stay in it here, 46-39 with 4:50 to play in the third quarter. Matt Merrifield joined alongside Tom Cavanaugh from the Mathai Center and the campus of Wayne State University. This is a Macomb home game, as this will be where the Monarchs play all of their home contests for this season. And things opening up a little bit more here in this third quarter. The offenses on both sides seem to be a little more cohesive. Still been a couple fouls here early, but more of a smooth contest to this point in the third quarter.
Absolutely. And, I mean, Macomb was, SC4 was in the bonus with about, 5-6 minutes in the first quarter. That was just to begin our ball game. So the fouls are definitely down just a tad, but the offense is more fluent on both sides. Right now, only 6 attempts shooting the basketball for the Skippers. They're 5 of 6 in this quarter. Macomb has shot the ball 11 times. That's 5 more than the Skippers. They are 4 of 11. They've had some bunnies that they've missed. Remember at the beginning it was Tamu and Jihad that had good looks that both came up empty. But if Macomb can hang around as they have been all day, they're going to be in good shape to take this down to the wire. But we said it before, I like Macomb battling this year. They've taken steps throughout the seasons. This is one of their best starts in recent history, their best start under head coach Kurt Caroline, and it's showing here against one of the best teams in the MCCAA East.
Yeah, Macomb has won 8 of their last 9, with only their one loss being to Schoolcraft in their conference opener, who is now number 3 in all of Division II NJCAA.
I did not see that coming. They're great.
Driving inside, drawing a foul, and 1 for Janiyah McWilliams.
Man, I got to highlight her impact. We talked about it a little bit when she put up a career-high 22 last Saturday against Mott. She averaged 6.3 points per game last year as a freshman. She's already almost doubled that to 10.2 per game. And when she's on the floor on Saturday and then today, I mean, it's been impressive. She makes a huge impact.
Free throw rolls off the rim. No three-point play for McWilliams, 5-point contest. Now 10 points on the night for McWilliams and her limited action. Another foul on Cooksey driving inside.
Do not tell me that's, it's okay. It's going to be on Jihad.
That's going to be number 4. So Tamu and Jihad. This Macomb team doesn't have a ton of size, but those are 2 names that really come to mind. And they're both with 4 with 14 minutes left in regulation.
I will say, though, not having Kyriana Carter on the floor right now, it's a huge advantage to have Asi Jihad out there when it comes to the rebound battle. Macomb still did a fabulous job of rebounding the basketball by the numbers in the first half, even with Jihad out for a large majority of it.
And Jihad now going to head to the bench with 4 fouls, 11 points, 8 rebounds tonight. She has been the best rebounder on the floor for either side tonight, but just she hasn't been able to stay on the floor consistently.
Nope.
She is the leading scorer as well for Macomb with 11, but McWilliams trailing just behind with 10, and she's got the basketball. Down 7 is Macomb. McWilliams going to her right, going straight down. Woodward off the mark, looking for a foul. First time all night we've seen really any aggressor near her when she gets into the lane, as that's Bowles near the basket off McWilliams. Stretch pass to the near side. Harris catch and shoot. Short. Rebounded by Kurt Williams. Back outside. It's Forrest. Forrest crossover with her left hand. Goes inside. Ball's tipped along the baseline. I'm going to say it went out of bounds. Last touched by the Skippers. Kyriana Carter coming back in for St. Clair County.
This could be, I know it's a 7-point game currently, still pretty close, but could be a whole heck of a lot different if Alea Forrest had made a few more baskets. It's just been a tough night for her.
Sanderson catch and shoot from the short corner. Knocks down another 2. Back to a 5-point game, 3.5 to play in the third. Sanderson up to 7 points and 4 rebounds. Good defense by Harris, tips it out of bounds. It'll remain with the Skips.
Well, Shea Gilgis-Alexander there out of Mayana Cooksey trying to foul bait in that short corner.
Attacking from the near corner is Wallace. And now on the break, Macomb trying to run with it. Forrest off to McWilliams. She'll put it on the deck, pauses on the elbow, outside 3. That one won't go either. Still looking for a triple. Haven't had one since the first quarter. About 2 minutes into the game on the break, running the floor. How about Carter laying it up and in?
She has such an impact on the floor. She's got to be careful, though, and if I'm Macomb, I'm going right at her at the basket trying to get her 5th foul.
Kurt Williams, top of the key, pass off, back to McWilliams, pick and roll. Right side, Forrest with a long-range shot. That one way too strong. Loose ball foul. Battling for the rebound, Cooksey. Just a magnet tonight. She's going to get another chance at the free throw line. Sanderson picks up, that'll be her 2nd. That'll be Cooksey back at the line. 21 points, 5 rebounds for the freshman from Detroit. Now her 4th consecutive game she has started. Another free throw she left short, trying to at least salvage one and split the pair. It's her 8th consecutive game in double figures. Like I mentioned earlier, in her last 5 since Christmas, averaging 19 a game. And she's improving on that average, now up to 22.
She only averages 7 free throws a game. And she's shot 15 of them already today, doubled that.
10 for 15 from the line is Cooksey. Kurt Williams, top of the key, and splash. How about that? Kurt Williams from long range, providing a spark off the bench. Haven't seen her in all of conference play, and she has come to play. Cooksey inside, and 1.
That's a response. Cooksey said, oh, you're going to hit a 3 at the top of the key. Let me reply with another and 1 and getting back to the line for the 16th time today. But Kurt Williams, she's had some great defensive possessions. She's been fighting for almost every single rebound today, and that's a big 3-point shot. When Macomb's down with their foul troubles and Galovich out with an injury, Kurt Williams has stepped up in a big spot.
6 points, 4 rebounds for Kurt Williams in just 7 minutes off the bench. Harris to Sanderson on the near side, now back up top to Forrest. Inside of 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Macomb down by 9. Driving inside, drawing the foul is Alea Forrest.
She hasn't really had that luck today at getting the whistles when she's gone to the rim. I mean, I bet she's 1 of 11 shooting the basketball today, and a lot of those have been going to the cup and just hasn't gotten the fouls. She's 2 of 2 from the line today. And also want to add in Kurt Williams. She just hit her career-high 7 points. She had 6 against Community Christian College back on the 23rd of December. And that was the last time she played, actually. And now she's back in and immediately one-ups herself with 7 points.
Have to imagine a lot of her minutes tonight have just been because of the foul trouble, but even an opportunity here for her maybe to play herself back into the rotation, get some more opportunities here down the stretch, because clearly she's been very effective playing down low, being aggressive on the boards, and stretching the floor like that as a big guy can
100%.
be huge.
Yeah, 3 offensive rebounds. That speaks for itself right there. That's alongside the 6 points.
90 seconds to play in the third after Forrest went 1 for 2 at the line. To Jesus from the corner. Comes up short. Now McWilliams, Macomb's got numbers, but McWilliams taking it herself. Another foul. That was Cooksey. This time, the assailant. So now it'll be McWilliams back at the line.
And she's been the victim all day. Even though, I mean, that's foul number 3 on her, but it's rare that we've seen her on the other end of that.
I don't know if we get to keep track of foul differential, but she is definitely in the plus category on that end.
Without a doubt.
First free throw from Janiah McWilliams, nothing but net. McWilliams now up to 11 points, tied for the team lead with Jihad. 5th straight game in double figures for the sophomore from Columbus, Ohio. It's a perfect trip for her this time, 6-point game. Down low near the basket, it's Adrian Collins picking up contact, so she'll shoot 2 at the line. Great response by St. Clair County. Right off the free throws, sprinting up the floor, getting the quick foul drawn. So that'll be Collins back at the stripe. Played 37 minutes on Saturday against Jackson on the road in the overtime finish. Just 5 points and 4 boards. She went 1 for 4 from the stripe in that game. She's 1 for 3, now 2 for 4 tonight with 4 points.
31 free throw attempts. Sorry, 32. That's appalling.
Kurt Williams from the right wing. Shoots out. Sanderson with the rebound. Back out to Harris. She'll drive inside. Right-hand floater. No good as well. Williams can't come out with the board, but she was the last to touch it. Back to the Skippers. 1 minute to play in the third. 55-48 St. Clair County.
There's been some possessions today, Matt, for the Monarchs that just feel like there's a lid on the basket. Whenever they go in strong at the rim, they're just falling off left, right, front, not going down between the twine.
And this is a team that's been shooting the basketball extremely well as of late. And the whistle after the made basket. Kyriana Carter finished inside.
Technical foul, I think.
Coach Mike Grew is not happy, fired up on the Skipper's bench. Carter is having to come off. If I had to guess, maybe something was said by Carter. That would also be her 5th foul.
Yeah, nothing blatant when it comes to behavior or physical action. And Coach Grew, right now, giving it to Carter on the bench after I think that's a good inference. Something was said. And you could hear him quote, "How does that help us?"
Yeah, and had it came through, it says it was a technical foul on Kyriana Carter, so it was her 5th foul.
That's key. That's very key.
And at the line, Alea Forrest goes 2 for 2. So 2 free points for Macomb, and they get the basketball back. So 7-point game, 42.5 seconds remaining in the third. It was a 2-point game when we started this second half. 25-20 the score in the third quarter alone in favor of the Skippers. Sanderson trying to stretch it out. Unsuccessful. Now it's Taylor Walsh over to DeJesus on the left side. 3-second difference between shot and game clock. And DeJesus takes it in, and it drops off the iron and down. See what Macomb can draw up on their final possession of the third quarter. Sampson coming way out to set a ball screen for Forrest. Down to 5. Forrest driving it inside, using the glass. No good. Rebound picked up by Bowles. You see that was Purnell. Can't get the shot off before the buzzer. And that is where the third quarter comes to an end. 59-50 in favor of St. Clair County. But the leading scorer for the Skippers will not be playing in the fourth quarter as Kyriana Carter picked up her 5th foul. Should be an interesting final 10 minutes.
Absolutely. I know it was nearly a 30-point third quarter for the Skippers, outscoring Macomb 27-20. But, you know, just law of averages, they're going to even out. And I don't see the Skippers having as good of a fourth quarter shooting the basketball, especially with Kyriana Carter not in the game. Now, if Mayana Cooksey's able to pick up 2 more fouls, Macomb's really in business then. You look at Asi Jihad, she's got 4. Going to have to lay it out all on the line here in this final 10 minutes. And then also Janiah McWilliams, she played a perfect third quarter. No fouls there, knock on wood on her end. But it's going to be a tall task. Down 9, you have to outscore a very good Skipper team by 10 in this fourth to win it.
It'll be a fun fourth quarter of play. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a few moments for the fourth quarter between Macomb and St. Clair County. Time for the fourth quarter from the University of Wayne State as Macomb and St. Clair County doing battle in this MCCAA East Conference matchup. 59-50 in favor of St. Clair County. They have the ball to start the fourth. Cooksey from the left elbow left it short. Now here comes Janiah McWilliams trying to drive inside, and she draws a foul on Collins. Lucky break for Macomb as it was almost another turnover against the Monarchs. Instead, they'll inbound it from underneath the skipper's basket here.
Bit of a bailout call there for McWilliams. We'll take it.
Macomb just 2 for 13 from beyond the arc tonight. And their first 2 attempts of the game went in about 2 minutes into the first quarter. So it's been a long time since they've had a long-range 3 fall. Driving down the lane, kicking to the right corner. It's Collins. That one's short. Still 0 3-points made for St. Clair County tonight as Cooksey attacking the basket. Off the mark, battle for the rebound. Tie up between Cooksey and Jihad. And the possession arrow will go back in favor of Macomb. So Jihad back in the game with 4 fouls. I expect her to have a big presence down low, obviously. No Kyriana Carter to kind of defend against her on the interior for St. Clair County. It's
going to be huge. And Harris's inbound pass there to Jihad, not the best one on that baseline out of bounds, but you continue to feed her, good things will happen.
Janiah McWilliams, the leading scorer, with 12 points tonight for Macomb. Jihad dribbles inside, stops. Took too many steps, however. That's a travel.
If I'm the Skippers, I'm kind of doing the same thing. Go down and try to force that 5th foul out of Asi Jihad and get her out of the ball game. Asi's got to play some conservative defense here in the final 8 minutes and 50 seconds.
St. Clair County spreading things out. Nobody in the paint. Back out to the left wing. Taylor Wallace, shot clock down to 5. Bowles, pumps, drives, pulls up for 2 from the free throw line, and it falls.
That's textbook basketball right there. Nice shot fake, dribble drive, pull up from the elbow.
Got right to her spot and knocked it down. 11-point lead in favor of St. Clair County.
Yeah, they got hot in this second half, Matt, after shooting 28% in the first 20 minutes.
Largest lead of the night for SC4. Forrest trying to find an answer, and she does. A high-arcing left-hand floater drops in. Timeout called by Macomb here at 8:10 of the fourth in this 9-point game.
She needed that more than air. I mean, seriously. 1 of 12, I think, shooting the basketball before that made basket, just her second. But I give Alea credit because even though she's not getting them to go down at the bucket, she's gotten to the line 6 times. She's made 5 of them, so still contributing at the free throw line, even though it's not going her way when she's shooting from the field.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here with the Macomb timeout. 8:10 to play in the fourth quarter. It's a 9-point game in favor of St. Clair County. St. Clair County with the basketball, 8:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here on this Wednesday evening in Detroit for this MCCAA East matchup between St. Clair County and Macomb. Cooksey quickly going to work on offense. Back out up top to Soleil de Jesus. De Jesus pass inside to Bowles. Good finish inside by the sophomore from Ypsilanti. Now McWilliams trying to respond quickly, flying up the floor too fast, out of control, off the mark. And now it's St. Clair County looking to respond back the other way. Bowles had it, dribbled it off her leg and out of bounds.
The defender repellent was activated once again. Just no finish that time for McWilliams. She'd been perfect to that point, but they get it back on the turnover. Well done.
Macomb trying to string together some offense. It's a 2-point game at the half. But St. Clair County was able to stretch it out late in the third quarter. Ball on the deck. Tamu comes out with it, driving towards the basket. Unable to find the bottom of the cup.
It's been that way all day for Macomb. They've gotten good looks at the hoop. They just have not gotten them to go.
Extra pass near corner. Soleil, nothing but nylon for the freshman. And the biggest lead of the game for St. Clair County continues to grow, now up to 14. Forrest drives in. Thought she had the basket made, but a travel against the Monarchs.
Matt, this Skipper team's 11 of 18 shooting the basketball here in the second half. That's 61% after a dreadful first half of shooting. I talked about law of averages really evening out. I was wrong, at least to this point with 6:51 to go. I thought SC4 wouldn't have the greatest fourth quarter, but right now they're red hot, shooting 3 of 6 from the field at 50%.
And that three-pointer from DeJesus, the first three-pointer made for SC4 tonight, now 1 for 8 as a group.
Wow.
They don't shoot a ton of threes, 25% on the season, but they don't take a high volume of three-point shots. Ball tipped out of bounds, good defense as Taylor Wallace was trying to attack the cup. Will stay with the Skippers.
And Taylor Wallace, we haven't really highlighted her much today. A Bowling Green transfer. Played just 7 games with the Falcons last year, but coming over and making a big impact with SC4.
And DeJesus again on the offensive end, using the high glass. Picking up the offensive rebound, her 8th of the game. Now 9 points for the freshman from Auburndale, Florida. Mackenzie Harris looking for a response. Gets a friendly roll from the front of the iron.
Gonna need a lot more of those and a few more misses from the Skippers to claw back in this thing down 14.
Harris now up to 9 points. Taylor Wallace off to Silver Bowles, who's got 14, second on SC4 in scoring. Scoops with her left. A little too much on it. Now it's Forrest. Trying to weave through traffic, goes inside, misses at the rim, and DeJesus comes out with the loose ball. And a timeout called by St. Clair County head coach Mike Grew. So he wants to talk things over here at the 5:36 mark of the fourth quarter. 14-point advantage in favor of the Skippers. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more action here from Detroit. .536 to play in the fourth. St. Clair County trying to close out their 4th win of conference play. Coming in tonight, a perfect 3-0 in the MCCAA East. Tied at the top with Schoolcraft. Skippers with the basketball. It's Taylor Wallace back out, left side. Collins, long range. That one's good for 3. The second 3 of the quarter and the night for the Skippers, now up to a 17-point advantage.
Could have been a broadcaster's jinx. This might be, to this point, the hottest quarter for the Skipper team, considering they've hit 2 triples, hadn't hit one all game. They're really putting the nail in the coffin currently.
Meanwhile, Macomb has been shooting 40% from 3 in their last 2 games, but here tonight, just 2 for 13 as the ball's tipped out of bounds. Mackenzie Harris still down after the play.
Yeah, Matt, they hit 12 against Mott last Saturday on 30 total attempts. They have less than half of that number of attempts. And I've liked their game plan today. Obviously, you get Kyriana Carter out of the ball game by going to the rim and forcing those fouls. They just haven't gotten it to go down low. Outside the perimeter, that 2 of 13 mark, 2 of 14 now, excuse me, is glaring because you get a couple of those buckets to drop and it's a whole new ball game and you're definitely not down 17 points.
There's a big difference in this Macomb squad. 13-5 on the year. When they shoot over 23% from beyond the arc, they're 10-0. They're 3-5 when they don't, and tonight has been one of those games where they have been struggling from deep. And it has showed down 17, still 5 minutes left to play as Mackenzie Harris gets checked out on the sideline. Maggie Stadler coming in, replacement. Pass to the near side. Soleil. DeJesus back out up top to Bowles. Bowles to Cooksey. Stopped on the free throw line, held ball. Good defense by Alea Forrest. But the possession arrow will keep it with St. Clair County here. 4:30 to play. Shot clock back up to 20. So they're going to reset it back down to 8 seconds. So 8 seconds to shoot for the Skippers. Pass to the far corner, catch and shoot. Nothing but air, too long, tipped out of bounds. Last tipped by McWilliams, so it'll stay with the Skippers. Shot clock down to 4 now as that three-point attempt from Wallace didn't touch anything.
That was just unlucky. McWilliams was in a good spot for the rebound, just off her wrist.
Cooksey pull up midi from the short corner, left is short, now back on the break. McWilliams rolled around and drops. Nice finish on the break from McWilliams. Good pass from Forrest.
Regardless of the result today, got to be pleased with how Janiyah McWilliams has popped off the page, especially in this second half. No fouls, 14 total points on the day. Well done.
Adrian Collins to the corner. A 3-ball from Taylor Wallace is good.
This is the second straight game for the Monarchs that they've seen their opponent really heat up in the fourth quarter. Talked about how the Mott Bears pushed a comeback late. And now this Skipper team just extending that lead with big shots.
And this is a St. Clair County team that shoots just 25.7% from deep this year. However, on the road, they shoot 30%. So they have been better on the road this season at shooting the basketball. With that make, they're at 3 for 12. 25% isn't exactly lighting the world on fire, but they don't rely upon it. So when you get that spark here late in the game where they were already in the lead without a made three, now you add in a couple. Meanwhile, Macomb hasn't been able to find one since the first couple minutes. That's a recipe for success for the Skippers. Pass inside, foul called.
Cooksey picked up number 4. What was that, 5 right there for Cooksey?
Yeah, because she picked up number 4 just a second ago.
Right,
so
yeah,
4 and 5 come just 4 seconds apart. So Cooksey's night is over.
She doesn't realize it. She wants to stay in. She either doesn't realize or she's refusing to get out of the game. Wow, so the top 2 players for SC4 have fouled out. That's something.
An 18-point deficit's a tall task, but without the best players for SC4 on the floor, there's a door open. And quickly off the inbound, Jihad with the finish inside. And a travel going against the Skippers, so the ball goes back to Macomb. 16-point game, 3.5 to play.
Never say never, but this Macomb team's going to need to hit some shots. You got Cooksey, who has drawn a myriad of fouls today. You got Carter with the size off the floor. Best chance right here with limited time for Macomb.
Well, they're going back to Jihad inside. Size advantage in favor of Jihad, but she can't finish the basket. Now Macomb looking for stops. Soleil DeJesus, who's been very strong here in the second half, drives straight down the middle of the lane, and the floater falls.
You could say that again, Matt. I mean, she's had a fabulous second half. Hit a big three-pointer, a couple of key buckets to extend the lead.
We're gonna go back to Jihad this time. She's able to find the bottom of the bucket. Back to Soleil de Jesus now 11 points with that last made basket, 8 rebounds. So the freshman approaching a double-double potentially. She had one already a couple weeks ago against Grand Rapids CC, 17 points and 10 boards in that non-conference matchup.
Yeah, she averages 8 and 5, so definitely playing a lot better than her averages today.
Off the dribble, Autumn Purnell.
Now everybody's getting in on the action while Cooksey and Carter are off the floor. And that's what good teams do, Matt. It's, you know, 2 of your best players are out to start the game, and Ileana Williams and Serena Ajami. We didn't even talk about those two not being on the floor today. 2 girls that average 15 a game, and then you add Cooksey and Carter to that mix. Those were your top 2 today that you had to eliminate. And even when they're out of the game due to foul trouble with 5 apiece, others step up. That's just a sign of a good team, strength in numbers.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous performance for this SC4 squad here tonight, as they have just 2 minutes and 21 seconds standing in their way to getting out to a 4-0 start in conference play. And as we've talked about already tonight, how just established this program has been the last couple years. Always competitive. They've won 20 or more games each of the last 3 seasons. They've finished in the top 3 in the conference all 3 seasons as well, tying for first place back in 2024. So they've been really good as of late, and they're continuing to look just as good this season.
Absolutely, and Coach Grew going 25-5 in his first year, winning the MCCAA East. He has demanded excellence from his team since he got here, and it's continuing into this season.
And this is his second stint running the program. He was the interim back in 2014 where they made the national tournament, as Tamu with a corner 3 off the mark, but following up on the rebound, put back up and in by McWilliams.
And to put the end cap on Grew as well. They made the tournament last year, losing in the second round, and also won the District A title in the Great Lakes Regional.
He went on to, following his first stint as the interim, he actually won Coach of the Year in the conference back in 2014. A triple from De Jesus is good. 14 points for her tonight.
Wow.
Coach Grew went on to be an assistant at Canisius and Eastern Michigan at the D1 level, now back with the Skippers in St. Clair County. Good to see Mackenzie Harris back on the floor. She's unsuccessful on her triple from the near side.
It's definitely good to have her back looking healthy. Cannot have her and Galovich both injured going into Saturday's game.
Purnell gets the roll. And the threes are coming in bunches for the Skippers here in the fourth. A 22-point lead as the advantage just continues to balloon for the Skips. Quick response by Forrest. 84-64, 1 minute to play.
25-point fourth quarter here, following up a 27-point third quarter, Matt. This team is red hot in the second half. Very, very impressive how they've come out since the break.
Pull up 2. Colin Bank is Taylor Walt. Everything is going in for the Skippers here in the fourth.
What can you do?
It was a 2-point game at the end of the first quarter. 2-point game going into halftime at 32-30 in favor of St. Clair County, but this second half, especially this fourth quarter, has been an offensive explosion. Forrest drawing the and one at the basket. Now up to 13 points here tonight.
Now let's just hope, as we see the Skippers men's team roll on in, that it's not contagious and falls onto them as we get ready for the men's game a little bit later on. That should be a good one.
Yeah, Forrest going back to the line, averaging 17 points a game in conference play. Back-to-back 21-point games. Not going to get to that mark tonight, unfortunately. It's been a tough night shooting the basketball from the field.
And yeah, we can look at the three-pointers, 2 of 16 from downtown for the Monarchs, but really a lot of their misses have come, on the block, real inside near the rim. They just haven't gotten them to fall.
Meanwhile, St. Clair County up to 5 for 14. That's 35, almost 36% from deep tonight. And what you and Noah saw on Saturday is all 4 teams between the men's and the women's shot really well in this gym. But Macomb has not had the success from deep here tonight, as the final seconds come down. 1 second difference between shot and game clock. Purnell has it stripped away, clock down to 2. Forrest going to get it off. And that'll be one final miss for Macomb, as St. Clair County on the road comes in and continues their winning ways. A 4th consecutive win to start conference play, 5 in a row overall for the Skippers. And for Macomb, they fall now to 2-2 in conference play, bringing an end to their back-to-back wins.
Yeah, looking at it, the Monarchs didn't play terrible. They just didn't make shots down inside the paint. Now, they played above their means when it came to the rebounding. When you look at the totals, they were out-rebounded by 2. They led at the half by 4, so they were out-rebounded by 6 in the second half. And that's without Kyrie and Carter on the floor for a lot of that as well. So, not the best day for Alea Forrest. If she plays different and gets hot, maybe this game's a lot closer. She was 4 of 16. And the foul trouble, Matt, that was really the thing that bugged the Monarchs early in this game. And they hung tough even with 3 girls with 3 fouls at halftime. Didn't foul all that much. Actually, no Monarch fouled out in the game. Jihad just won in the second half. McWilliams didn't have a foul in the second half, so they played well, but it also kind of affected how they played defensively, leading to that Skipper team being a lot better offensively. They couldn't miss in the fourth quarter, let alone the entire second half, and that's what led to the blowout win.
Yeah, Macomb had 3 different scores in double figures in McWilliams, Jihad, and Forrest. Unfortunately, just not enough shots went down, especially when St. Clair County exploded offensively. I think that was just the biggest difference. Is Macomb 67 points, a little bit below their mark. They've been averaging 76 per game on this little 8-in-1 stretch they've been on, where they finally found their game. But when a team puts up 86, it's going to be tough to win games when you can't get stops, especially down the stretch, and also especially when some of the best players are on the bench and your opponent is still finding ways to find the bottom of the cup. So overall, disappointing result for Macomb, but they going to look to get back in the win column as they have a 3rd straight home game on Saturday, welcoming in Oakland CC.
That's going to be a big one. The Owls are also a very talented team in this Eastern Conference, the MCCAA. So, I mean, it's kind of like the Big Ten, Matt. I mean, there's no off days inside this conference. Every single night, Wednesdays and Saturdays, you got to bring your A game, and you got to try to get a win to get back above 500.
And with that, you can see the 2 men's squads starting to get warmed up about 20 minutes away from tip-off between Macomb and St. Clair County. Men's basketball tipping off in about 20 minutes. Tom and I will be on the call for all the action in that one. It is a separate stream, so when this one ends, make sure to hop on over to that link still on the Macomb Monarchs YouTube page. Just click on that separate link, and you'll be all squared away for the action between the Skippers and Monarchs round 2 of this Wednesday evening doubleheader. So now we're going to take a quick break, and we'll have the player of the game interview after the contest, or we'll even be meeting back up with you for pregame between the Skippers and the Monarchs. 86-67 the final score. St. Clair County takes down Macomb here from Detroit. We'll be back here on the Monarchs YouTube channel for more action between Macomb and St. Clair County. Thank you.